So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Jim Haynes. Graphics Plus is the name of the company. And I'm an illustrator, designer, mostly all illustration now. Been doing it since about, you start drawing when you're a little kid, but I've been doing it professionally since about the 80s. And started out as a design firm, and it's evolved into strictly illustration now. So that's about it. I do cartoon work primarily, editorial work. That's the bulk of the work, but I also do watercolors as time allows. I enjoy that a lot, the fine art of it, the freedom of it. Mm-hmm. But this is really what my main focus is, cartoons.
Sure.
And it's a good way to make a living.
Yeah.
And it's very enjoyable.
And you're from Silver Spring originally?
Yeah, I was born in Washington, but I grew up about 3 blocks from here.
Oh, okay.
Right down the road. I was out in Arizona for about 5 years. Went to school out there studying commercial art. Got a degree in commercial art. And then came back here. Mm-hmm. Suddenly. The folks came out to see me graduate. Next thing I knew, I was in a car heading home again. So,
was there anything that prompted coming back?
No, I just, you come home every year and, for summer and that kind of thing, so I was kind of used to it.
Sure.
I could have easily stayed out there. I mean, I loved the environment. It was Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh, beautiful.
Gorgeous country. And that's what took me 5 years. The first year I was there, I did nothing but hike, and I was blown away by the scenery. Coming from Silver Spring, mm-hmm. You only see that on cowboy movies, that kind of stuff. So I spent a lot of time just hiking and enjoying the scenery. And I came back here. I've been here ever since. So I've lived a little closer to Silver Spring for about 5 or 6 years, and then me and my wife moved here back. We've been here 30 years now, so
wow. We're
like the oldsters on the block. We
Show
are.
Them how to do it.
We're those cranky old people that the kids yell at. So, but it's a good life. My wife does daycare upstairs, and she's been doing that for more than 30 years. Mm-hmm. And it's a living. I think she'd prefer something else. It's a tough job.
Sure.
It's a real tough job.
Between taking care of the kids and taking care of you is
brutal.
Yeah.
And then there's 4 dogs. So, like I say, there's never a dull moment. As you notice coming in, nobody sneaks in. And that doorbell goes off, and it's babies crying, dogs barking. We always pray no one actually rings the doorbell. But I've been down here I used to have a shop in Silver Spring. Let's see here, it was right off Fenton, right around in this area. And that was our advertising agency. Actually, we started off on Colesville Road. They had a suite there, then we moved into a townhouse a couple blocks away. And we did that probably about 5 or 6 years. Uh-huh. And I think I told you earlier, we were mostly design. We had copywriters and this and that, and most of our work was associations. And then this is back in the 80s. So the desktop publishing moved in. As that moved into our clients kind of did it themselves.
Right.
So eventually we found ourselves with a limited amount of clients. Mm-hmm. And we just had to fold our tent. And, it just wasn't. People went in-house to do their design work. Mm-hmm. But I stuck with the illustration, and here I sit many years later.
What kind of work would you love to do right now? I mean, in terms
if I had my druthers, I like doing these. I like the final product. It can get tedious, mm-hmm. as for obvious reasons. But I look at some great watercolorists, and if I could even just have a year of that, uh-huh. I would love it, because I just don't do enough of it to, I really think, improve. I have pretty good skills when it comes to watercolor, but you have to do it a lot, like anything, playing the guitar, whatever. playing the piano, you have to practice your skills. And at the end of the day, say I've been working on this from 9 to 5, I'm not going to pick up a watercolor brush and start a watercolor. I'm done for the day. That's kind of the and I don't want to call it a curse, but it's kind of a double-edged sword of drawing for a living, because in some regards it is a job. You know, so it takes a little bit out of the joy out of it when you draw for a living. This type of illustration, it's not easy. You know, physically you're bent over all day, and it takes a little bit of a toll.
Yeah.
So as I say, at the end of the day, I really don't want to start a painting. You kind of have to have that spark and the enthusiasm to get going. So that would be nice, just to do some watercolors for a year or so.
Sure.
I know guys that go out to Big Sur for a week, and they conduct workshops, and they fly all over the world. And they're good artists, but you know, some of them I would put myself in their, you know, their capabilities. I think I could be capable of that, but they teach.
Sure.
I don't know if I could teach. I could show them how I do it, but I couldn't really tell them how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, this is what I do, and I like doing it. So even if it involves working all weekend on a map on a beautiful spring weekend, that's all right, Pete. I don't mind.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. The job is done. I'm glad you're happy with it.
Very.
We'll see what goes on.
Have you ever been to Taste the World before?
No. I'm looking forward to. It's the 2nd of May. Is that correct?
3rd of May.
3rd of May.
Yeah.
I hope I'm invited.
You are, by all means.
Yeah.
You'll be an honored guest.
Yeah.
What was there any personal value to doing this project?
This one here?
Yeah.
Well, I do have an affinity to Silver Spring. Growing up here, I spent, we used to ride our bikes down there, and we'd go to the what is now AFI. Yeah, we'd go to the movies there. We'd all that's back when there was, the Penny's was back there, and there was a one drugstore. I forgot what it was called now. It's, that was where Hex used to be, which is now City Place. Trying to think of what the drugstore was. We'd just go down there and spend the day.
Yeah.
The Art Deco area was all. There was some sporting goods in there. It was like an Irving Sporting Goods, so we'd go in there and check out the. You could spend a day down there easy. I think this was back in the 60s when we'd pedal on down there. So Silver Spring still was pretty vibrant back then.
Yeah.
I think during the 70s, 80s, it kind of took that downturn a little bit when some of the tenants were leaving. And now it's rebounding, and I think, what's going on here, I think, is going to help. I think this will bring some recognition to some of these smaller shops that really need to stay, in my opinion. We don't need just a bunch of townhouses and big shops. I really think the mom and pop places are, particularly in this environment, are very, very valuable. But it's progress. You've got the new library going in, the ice rink. That's where the market is now. The Fenton Street Market. Is that true? Yeah, I have yet to go down there. I've got to. I grow my own veggies. So, matter of fact, we're in the staging area right now. We got our seedlings ready to go. So, but there's a lot to do down here, and a lot to see, and a lot to come. So, you guys have a beautiful view here from the World Building.
Yeah.
I would like to come down and paint that view sometime. I've mentioned that to you.
That is literally open anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would make a great painting.
Let me know and we can make it happen.
Yeah, very good. So if I'm just going to lay in these numbers, if you want to take this with you, we can talk, and I'll just ink these numbers.
Great.
This is my little Michael Jackson glove. And and I use this. It actually, I saw some artist a long time using this who inks a lot. And the reason is if you ink something, you don't really smear it as much. This would absorb it.
Sure.
And it keeps the art a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
But now I find myself, if I'm not wearing this glove, it's like a security blanket. I feel like I can't draw unless I got my little glove on.
You can't dance like you'd like to.
I can't dance either. Not that moonwalking, certainly. So this is all strictly hand lettered. This piece is there's nothing computerized about it. Not to say that you couldn't. You could have scanned this and photoshopped it in color. I don't think that would save you much time. But it's possible. I think you'd lose that handcrafted look. That is really, I'm kind of hanging in there for that look to come back.
Sure.
Yeah, because a lot of people do come to me because of that, because they want that. They wanted that whiteboard, hand-lettered kind of look, and it took them 2 weeks to find me. So.
Right.
Now, do we want to put periods after these numbers necessarily?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think you just do that as a list.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're off. Number 1.
Right.
So I think there's still a real appeal to the handcrafted look.